So poops,
After this, and this, and this,
Nga Kor Ming has made a direct apology. At a press conference today, he said, if there are media friends who are offended by those words that he said, I retract them and apologize so that we can focus on the effort to build our beloved homeland. Wow. Thank you, YB Nga. I'm sure that it must have taken a lot to man up, look at the camera, and say sorry. Thank you for following our advice. And I can only wonder whether Anwar, Akmal, or any of the other hundreds of politicians who all owe us apologies are gonna do the same. But anyway, from all the NKM drama, all of y'all have been saying they deserved it. Utusan is racist. But somehow, even when I ask all of you to actually give me proof that they are racist, over 140 of you said that it is malicious, but you never actually proved it. So today, let's do a deep dive and ask, is Utusan racist? I can imagine some of you saying, while pulling out your apa lagi Cina mau, tomboy, and other kinds of comments right after saying it's racist because it's Utusan. But whoa, let's start from the start. If you don't know what Utusan Malaysia is, it is a beast that goes by many names. It was actually the very first paper, owned, financed, written, managed by the Malays. The paper itself was originally in Jawi script, first published in Singapore. It was started in 1939 by a couple of people, including Singapore's first president, Yusof Ishak, whose face, by the way, now proudly graces every single one of your Sing dollars. Kinda ironic since it went bankrupt basically in 2019. Yeah, what we can't debate is that Utusan for many years was the Malay newspaper. It was established not to rival other newspapers but to serve the bangsa, agama and watan of the Malays. It started out by publishing views of people who wanted to criticize the colonial government, hashtag fighting for justice, until about 1961 when UMNO bought it. And from that point onward, articles by the Lion of UMNO, Syed Jafar Albar, writing piece after piece in Utusan while using it as a propaganda rag to spread hate against Lee Kuan Yew and Singapore, even as he screamed, "Kill Lee Kuan Yew!" leading up to the
legendary
Apa Lagi Cina Mahu,
which got police reports and also some fun tweets, by the way.
And a spotted history articles that say non-Malays have no respect for Malays and are taking advantage of Malay tolerance. Something, by the way, not just a post by Lim Kit Siang, but even Nazri Aziz. And oh yeah, you even have their editors going around saying that we cannot remove race from government forms. The people who try to campaign for that are liberals.
Also, there was this racist editorial voice that represented all of the Utusan editors, but seems that after the bankruptcy, they didn't dare to publish it again.
And you start to see that the track record is not amazing. How wonderful to be called the messenger but only share propaganda. But see, the title of this video is not "Was Utusan Malaysia racist?" It is Utusan Malaysia racist? Like, there's a difference. Everything that I just talked about earlier is more accurately referred to with the past tense because it was in the past. But a more important, juicy, and relevant question is, how is it now? Because if the answer is that Utusan is racist now, then it totally makes sense, maybe, for NKM to go out there, scold the journalists, speak to the editors.
But you still can't get past the fact that NKM didn't know what media it was until he asked.
I do think that Utusan is probably incompetent given the way that it shared that article about under 16s being banned from social media, which was basically fake news. But if you want to say that Utusan is racist now, that must mean that the stories it writes, the journalists it hires, the editorials that it creates are racist here and now, and we can find proof that it is racist or malicious, if you want to play it that way, through the things that it shares on its website, its social media, and everything else. So why don't we go right ahead and check. Alright, let's see. First, let's go on Instagram and scroll down. Do we see anything racist? Alif Aziz, who by the way got his hair transplant the same place where I got mine. Perjanjian Puaskan Hati America. I don't think that's racist. Palestine. Palestine bucket. No, I think that's okay. Consistency terus jadi musuh Junhao. Not very racist. Oh, puasalah kau botak! Not particularly racist racist as well. Okay, not really seeing anything racist on the Instagram at the moment. Why don't we have a look at something else? Alright, let's see. Setiap pemimpin politik ada tempoh luput from Wan Saiful. And God bless you, Bersatu. Very unfortunate. Sorry from Anwar Ibrahim. My visit to Pahang is cancelled. Putin, you are cancelled. Stop playing ooh, maybe. Let's see. Alright, stop playing local party sentiments to fight. I don't think that's really racist. Anything else that's racist here? Oh, is that anti-racist? Wow. Okay, what about this? Alright, why don't we look at Facebook at the moment and see Utusan online. Anything racist at all? Nope. No. Ooh, drama. Nope. Not as far as I can see. As you can see there,
from our very first impression search, you don't really see a lot of racist content just straight out from looking at the pages. I don't think that's really a normal part of the company's editorial strategy.
Nothing particularly racist from looking at the couple of pages that Utusan maintains. Now, I'm not denying that the apa lagi Cina mau and some of the more sus elements exist and everything, but I think it's a bit sus, honestly, to go out and assume that all of the past baggage of Utusan was representative of Utusan as a whole, or that it suggests that the Utusan now, which came into existence after getting out of bankruptcy, once it got a new investment and came back trucking again in 2020, is a racist entity. I'm not really seeing any evidence that all of their stories are racist or all of their journalists are racist either. So for those of you who are sore about the fact that Nga Kor Ming apologized to the media, don't feel sorry, because that apology, I think, was warranted. You might have your suspicions about how maybe the old racist DNA of Utusan is going to come out once in a while, and I think that's a valid fear. But I think that we need to get used to this idea that we shouldn't judge people before a crime has been committed. I know some of you will think that if you have another apa lagi Cina mau, then it's too late already. But I think you can't deny that the media is an indelible part of our information ecosystem and how we understand the world. And if we're going out there and trying to stop people from asking questions just because they have a bad reputation, then by right you shouldn't be reading the coverage and sharing their articles at all. But anyway, it's entirely up to you to decide. What do you think, Sapoops? Do you disagree? Do you feel that Utusan is racist after all and Nga should never have apologized? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's all to say about that, and bye. If you are a Walawun of the new variant variety and you now hate me because I rag on Nga Kor Ming 3 times in a row, thank you for your hatred. Go ahead, hit unsubscribe, and don't cry on the way out.